Have you ever wondered how every website you visit actually looks the way it does? Like, why does YouTube have red buttons, Facebook has blue, and Google's homepage is so simple yet powerful? What if I told you all of it starts with just two magical ingredients, HTML and CSS? Yes, the entire internet. Your favorite blogs, shops, social media pages, they all begin here. Welcome back to Ruby Parker, where learning meets the future. And today, we're diving deep into the digital fabric of the web, HTML and CSS, the real heroes behind every website you've ever seen. So, let's start with a mind-blowing fact. Over 1.5 billion websites exist on the internet right now. And guess what? Almost every single one of them uses HTML and CSS. That's right. Without them, the web would literally be invisible. No colors, no text, no layout, just a blank void of nothingness. Scary, right? But here's where the magic begins. Think of a website like a human body. HTML is the skeleton. It gives the structure, the bones, the basic shape. And CSS, that's the skin, the clothes, the style. It decides what the website looks like, its colors, fonts, and layout. Together, they bring websites to life. One defines what's there, and the other defines how it looks. Now, let's take an example you see every day. When you open Google, what do you see? A simple logo, a search bar, and two buttons. Google search and I'm feeling lucky. All of that structure, that's HTML. The clean white background, the centered text, the font style, that's CSS. Simple, elegant, powerful. But before we get too far, what exactly is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Sounds fancy, right? But let's break it down. Hypertext means text that can link to other pages, like clicking on a blue link and going somewhere new. And markup language means it marks up or labels the content, telling your browser what each part means. Imagine you're building a house. You'd use bricks and walls to create rooms, doors, and windows, right? HTML does the same for websites. It creates headings, paragraphs, images, links, and more. You're not programming with HTML. You're structuring. You're telling the browser, hey, this is a heading, this is an image, this is a link. Let's look at an example. Here's a tiny piece of HTML. Welcome to Ruby Parker. When your browser sees that, it says, oh, this is a heading, let's make it big and bold. And if you add learning technology, has never been this fun. The browser goes, cool, that's a paragraph of text. Simple, right? But together, these tiny tags create entire websites. But wait, without CSS, your HTML page would look boring, like a plain white page with black text and zero style. That's where CSS enters like a superhero with a paintbrush. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it's literally what makes the web beautiful. Cascading means that styles flow down, from general to specific, giving you incredible control. For example, you can say, hey, make all headings blue, or add a background image of the sky, or even make this button glow when you hover your mouse. That's CSS, turning plain text into something visually stunning. Let's make it real. Imagine your HTML says, hello world, and your CSS says, H1 but color, red, font size 50 pixels, text align, center, boom. Suddenly, your simple text turns into a massive red headline, right in the middle of your screen. That's the power of CSS, instant transformation. But here's something fascinating. HTML and CSS aren't programming languages. Yes, you heard that right. They don't make decisions, loops, or logic. They're the foundation, the language of structure and style. Think of them as the blueprint and paint of your digital world. So, how do HTML and CSS actually work together? When you visit a website, your browser, like Chrome or Safari, downloads two main files. One is the HTML file, which contains all the content. The other is the CSS file, which contains all the styling rules. The browser reads both and renders the page for you to see. It's like reading two books at once. One tells the story, and the other describes the visuals. But here's a shocking truth. Every modern website you use daily is powered by this duo. Facebook? HTML and CSS. Amazon, HTML and CSS. Netflix, yep, even that stylish black theme, all CSS. Even the app interfaces you use on mobile, they often begin as HTML and CSS prototypes before going to production. That's how universal it is. Let's do a quick imagination game. Picture a web page with just HTML, no CSS at all. It would look like a Word document from the 90s, plain, dull, lifeless. Now, add CSS, colors, spacing, animations. Suddenly it feels alive, interactive, and modern. CSS turns function into emotion. But you know what's even cooler? CSS can animate. Yes, you can make text fade in, buttons glow, backgrounds move, and entire layouts shift without a single line of JavaScript. All just using CSS transitions and animations. It's like digital choreography, websites dancing to your commands. Now, let's go behind the scenes. When web developers build websites, they use HTML first to lay down the content and structure. Then they apply CSS to make it look good on every screen, from a tiny phone to a huge desktop monitor. And because CSS is responsive, it can automatically adjust layouts for any device. So the next time your favorite website looks perfect on your phone, thank CSS for that. But here's the real question. Why should you care about HTML and CSS? Well, because learning them is like unlocking the secret code of the internet. Once you understand these two, you can literally create your own website from scratch. You can design your personal blog, a business portfolio, or even the next viral startup homepage. It's not just knowledge, it's power. And here's the best part. You don't need a degree, fancy tools, or years of experience to start. All you need is a text editor, a browser, and curiosity. Type your first line of HTML, save it, and open it in Chrome. Boom, you've built a web page. It's instant gratification, creation at your fingertips. But be careful, because once you start, it's addictive. You'll find yourself changing colors, moving boxes, centering elements, and before you know it, you'll be lost in the beauty of design. That's how every great web developer starts, one tag at a time. And here's a fun fact. Even AI websites, futuristic apps, and AR interfaces use HTML and CSS foundations. Because no matter how advanced the tech gets, we still need structure and style. It's timeless. It's essential. It's the DNA of the web. So next time you open your favorite site, just pause and think. Behind every pixel you see, there's HTML holding it together and CSS dressing it up. It's the ultimate partnership, logic and beauty working in perfect harmony. Now, before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Every tech giant today started small, experimenting with HTML and CSS in their bedrooms, just like you can. If you can type a few tags and imagine creative designs, you've already stepped into the world of web creation. This is your digital canvas, your ideas, your story. And HTML and CSS, they're your brushes. So go ahead, start building your own piece of the internet, because the web isn't just for browsing anymore, it's for creating. And your creation might be the next big thing the world clicks on. If this video inspired you, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Ruby Parker, where learning technology is not just easy, it's exciting. Because the future belongs to the creators. And you're one of them?